Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB and today's the 8th of May 2023 and unfortunately guys, the price of Bitcoin and the global cryptocurrency market is not looking good at all, and in just few days, the CPI numbers are going to be out and I really am not sure what kind of an impact will it have on the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Now if the inflation number is low, there is a very high chance that the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies will be pumping up, so it's going to be really interesting to see how and when the news develops. A massive news that is circulating in the Bitcoin world and also in the world of Binance is there is a lot of network congestion, and this is because of Bitcoin Ordinals and also because of BRC20. Now BRC20 is kind of similar to Ethereum ERC20, but it works on Bitcoin blockchain, and because of that there is a massive network congestion, and unfortunately Binance did close the Bitcoin withdrawals and they did it twice in just a matter of 8 days. So in today's episode, I'll very briefly go ahead and explain what the Bitcoin network struggle is, why it has happened and why it is a positive thing for Bitcoin miners, but from a user's point of view, it is absolutely terrible. And guys, regarding Ethereum, I do have a shady update, and this is that the Ethereum Foundation has sold $30 million in Ethereum. And look guys, when you talk about SEC Chairman Gary Gensler going after Ethereum, this is one of the points that he'll aggressively go after, as in who has done the decision-making process for selling these $30 million worth of Ethereum. And this is a very dire consequence, not just for the Ethereum Foundation, but also for Ethereum as well. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this news develops. And guys, regarding Deloitte, we have some update, and they have integrated blockchain for digital credentials. So definitely interesting news, and we'll definitely go ahead and explore that news in today's episode. So quite a lot to cover guys in today's episode, and like we do in every Crypto and Coffee 88 podcast, we're going to be looking at two news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. And the first news is about Buzz AR, and they have partnered with Cypher Capital Group, and they are teaming up for a metaverse project. And look guys, Cypher Capital is a massive giant in Dubai, and if you're looking for investment, you definitely need to check out Cypher Capital. And in the past, I've covered them several times in my Crypto and Coffee 88 podcast. Now the second news guys has to do with artificial intelligence, and it's needless to say that so much of hype is surrounding regarding artificial intelligence. And this news is that Palazzo Versace Dubai has launched the first ever AI-based chatbot. And in the past guys, Palazzo Versace did get into cryptocurrencies as well, and they did partner with Binance in order to make it easier for customers to pay for the services using cryptocurrencies. So we'll definitely go ahead and explore that news in today's episode. So quite a lot to cover in today's episode, so let's get started right away. Welcome to the Crypto and Coffee 88, the daily podcast that keeps you up to date on all latest developments in the world of cryptocurrencies, blockchain and NFTs. Join us Monday to Friday as you kick off your day with a cup of coffee and a deep dive into the exciting and rapidly evolving world of digital assets. We'll cover the latest news and trends in the cryptocurrency and blockchain space, as well as delve into the growing world of NFTs or non-fungible tokens and metaverse. Plus, we'll keep you updated on the latest developments from Dubai, UAE and the wider Middle East region. Whether you're a seasoned crypto enthusiast or just getting started, Crypto and Coffee 88 has something for you. Our expert host will provide insight and analysis on the most important topics in the industry and help you stay up to date on the latest developments. We'll bring you interviews with leading figures in the crypto and blockchain space and explore the ways in which these technologies are changing the world around us, from the impact on traditional financial systems to the potential for revolutionizing industries and transforming societies. We'll cover it all on Crypto and Coffee 88. So tune in and join us for a daily dose of Crypto and Coffee 88, and let's stay ahead of the curve together. We'll start your day off right with the most important news and insights from the world of cryptocurrency, blockchain and the metaverse, and help you navigate this exciting and rapidly evolving landscape. In Crypto and Coffee 88, the daily podcast covers the latest developments in the world of cryptocurrency, blockchain and the metaverse. We'll also bring you updates on the latest news from Dubai, UAE and wider Middle East region. This also includes a range of topics such as developments in the local and blockchain industry, including new projects and initiatives, regulatory updates and policies related to cryptocurrency and blockchain in the region, local and regional events and conferences focused on crypto and blockchain, interviews with leading figures in Dubai, UAE and Middle East crypto and blockchain community, coverage of any significant news or events related to cryptocurrency and blockchain in the region. By covering these local and regional developments, in addition to the wider world of cryptocurrency and blockchain, Crypto and Coffee at 8 aims to provide a comprehensive overview of the industry and its impact on the Dubai, UAE and Middle East region. Now before we kickstart today's episode, I have an important message, so check this out. Shalhoub Group, a luxury retailer and distributor which is headquartered in Dubai, are getting into the NFT game. And here's the deal, guys. They are not just getting into the NFT and metaverse space, they are going to be shaping the NFT, metaverse and Web 3.0 space, which I believe is excellent not just for Dubai and UAE, but also for the global cryptocurrency community as well. And guys, Shalhoub Group's Web 3.0 sneaker brand called Soulmates revealed their first NFT collection on the 12th of April. Now what is really interesting is that it's called as Soulmates, so it's spelled as S for sugar, O for orange, L for Larry. Now instead of E, they have replaced it with Web3 and it is the number 3, mates.xyz. And guys, listen, Shalhoub Group has over half a century's worth of experience in luxury goods, and them getting into the NFT space is a massive deal. Now if you're a sneakerhead, you definitely need to check out soulmates.xyz. And once again, guys, the number is 3 instead of an E. It has all the information, and in the show notes below, you'll get all the information. And listen, guys, if you want to be an early adopter, you can also pre-mint it at www.premint.xyz/soulmates. So definitely check it out. And they have a Discord community as well. And guys, Nick, who is the head of corporate innovation at Shalhoub Group and also the co-founder of Soulmates, has a WhatsApp group where he constantly provides updates in the area of NFTs, Metaverse and Web 3.0. So guys, check out soulmates.xyz and be part of the Soulmates OG NFT that is definitely going to shape the industry. Next, Startup OI is global one tech platform for tech. It offers global high-paying tech jobs with flexibility in working time and location, global free tech events, and tech networks to connect with global like-minded engineers. A brilliant platform to listen to the tech experts in Metaverse and to grab their insights. Now listen, all you have to do is download the app Startup OI. If you're using an Android version, go to Google Store and App Store for iOS devices. Alternatively, you can also click on the show notes below to download Startup OI. Next, guys, listen, if you're into fitness, if you're into adventure, if you want to do something wild but still want to keep your health in check, there is a new podcast in town, a podcast focusing on obstacle course race in the Middle East. The podcast is called the Race Pace Podcast. So check out the Race Pace Podcast across all leading platforms. And the Race Pace Podcast is a peer-to-peer community-driven podcast where they talk all about obstacle course race in the Middle East, from Sandstorm to Spartan Race, from Tough Mudder to Desert Warrior Challenge, and also the Government Gov Games, and quite a lot more. The podcast has interviews with athletes locally and internationally to get inside scoop on how athletes prepare for obstacle course race. In the podcast, they also talk about interesting stories on why they are motivated to do obstacle course race. And that's not all. They also plan to release 7 NFTs. And these NFTs are no ordinary. These NFTs will represent every emirate in the UAE. And listen, guys, these NFTs are going to be absolutely massive. So do one thing, go to Spotify, go to iTunes, go to any leading podcasting platform and search for Rise in the Obstacle Course Race podcast. And finally, guys, not your keys, not your crypto. If you have dabbled with cryptocurrencies and now are seriously getting to protect your cryptocurrencies, there is no better way to protect it by using a hardware wallet. And this is where Ledger Wallet kicks in. And Ledger Wallets are hardware cryptocurrency wallets made by Ledger, a company headquartered in Paris, France. And Ledger's hardware wallets are multi-currency wallets that are used to store private keys for cryptocurrencies offline. And Ledger offers 2 hardware wallets, the Ledger Nano and Ledger Nano X wallets. They are world-class experts with extensive crypto security backgrounds. They continuously look for vulnerabilities in Ledger products in a constant effort to improve the level of security. Now, in today's world, securing these digital assets is a critical challenge, and this is where Ledger kicks in. So click the link below to buy your hardware wallet and support this podcast. It is a brilliant way to support this podcast. So what are you waiting for? The link is in the show notes below. Now, guys, since you've taken care of that, let's kickstart by looking at the global cryptocurrency market. As of today, the global cryptocurrency market is well below the $1.20 trillion mark, and it is at $1.16 trillion. And since the last 24 hours, it is marginally up by 2.19%. And guys, listen, it's going to be really interesting to see when the CPI numbers are out. I do have this feeling that it might just cross a $1.40 trillion mark. But once again, guys, all price predictions are 100% right 50% of the time. And the total crypto market volume of the last 24 hours is down to $32.98 billion. And since the last 24 hours, it is down by 11.24%. Now let's look at the volume on DeFi. Guys, listen, the volume of DeFi is ridiculously low. Now what I'm really expecting is in the second half of this year, the volume of DeFi to definitely go maybe 2x or 3x the time. It's going to be really interesting to track the matrix of DeFi, most likely from July onwards. Now as of today, the volume is ridiculously low at $2.78 billion and DeFi is accounting for 8.44% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. And if you look at the total value locked, guys, it is once again below the $50 billion mark, and as of now it is at $47.96 billion. Lido is still dominating at 25.03%, and Lido has been dominating, guys, since 2023, and prior to that, it has always been MakerDAO. Now, so far as total value locked of Lido is concerned, it is at $12.02 billion. And guys, in my Crypto and Coffee 88 podcast in the past, what I used to do is I used to look at the total value locked of the top 5 DeFi protocols, but since the last few weeks, what I'm looking at is a 24-hour volume of the top 5 DeFi protocols, and Uniswap is definitely the leader, well over the $1 billion mark, and the 24-hour trading volume is $1.27 billion. PancakeSwap is number 2nd at $502.37 million, followed by Curve Finance at $70.21 million. So look guys, look at the difference between the second and the third one. The second is $502 million, whereas the third is only at $70.21 million. Massive anomaly. The number 4th is Meta TDEX at $48.42 million, and finally number 5th at Sushi at $25.16 million. So if you were to compare the volume of the first and the 5th one, listen to this guys, Uniswap's volume is $1.27 billion, whereas Sushi is at $25.16 million. Massive anomaly. Now let's look at the volume of stablecoins. It is down to $28.89 billion, and stablecoins is still accounting for 87.60% of the total crypto market volume. Ideally, guys, the volume of stablecoins should be accounting for less than 40% of the total crypto market volume. When will that thing happen? I really am not sure. Now, out of this $28.89 billion, Tether USDT accounts for $22.50 billion. So if you look at it, guys, the total crypto market volume is $32.98 billion. Out of that, Tether USDT is accounting for $22.50 billion. What would happen if the SEC or the US government goes aggressively after Tether USDT or Bitfinex? It'll have absolutely dire consequences. Now, will that thing happen? To be honest, I really wouldn't be surprised if that is the next move by the US government. Now, Circle USDC's volume is $3.13 billion and followed by Binance BUSD at $2.11 billion. Now, guys, let's quickly look at the market cap, 24-hour trading volume and dominance between Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now, Bitcoin's market cap is well above the $500 billion mark, and it is currently at $547 billion, whereas Ethereum is at $225 billion. The 24-hour trading volume, to be honest, is not looking good, considering the fact that it is on weekend. Now, there are two ways of looking at it. You could say that because it is a weekend, the volume should actually be high, or because it is a weekend, the volume is looking ridiculously low. And these are the points, guys, that cryptocurrency influencers on YouTube and other podcasters try to manipulate, but nonetheless, the volume is ridiculously low. For Bitcoin, it is at $13.2 billion, and as Ethereum is $8.09 billion. The dominance of Bitcoin is 47.10%, and I wouldn't be surprised after the CPI numbers, the dominance would actually go down because a lot of the shitcoins will definitely be trending. And so far as the dominance of Ethereum is concerned, it is at 19.40%. Now guys, let's quickly look at the market cap of smart contracting platforms and Web 3.0 protocols. Ethereum is at $224 billion. Binance BNB is still staying steady at $49.79 billion. Once again, guys, if you look at the details of Binance BNB, it is definitely not looking good. So I'm a bit surprised. How come the market cap is remaining steady? And how come the price of Binance BNB coin is also remaining steady? If this would only happen if there's some kind of manipulation going on, but I really am hoping that I'm 100% wrong on that. Cardano is at $12.90 billion. Now guys, let's quickly look at the Web3 protocols. Chainlink is at $3.47 billion, followed by Filecoin at $2.05 billion and Graph at $1.07 billion. But what I most likely will do, guys, maybe in tomorrow or next week's episode, I'll try to look at the 24-hour trading volume of Chainlink and Filecoin, and I'll try to look at how many people are actually using it. I wouldn't be surprised if the usage is ridiculously less. So it's going to be really interesting to see the numbers once I look into the details of it. Now, guys, let's look at the king of all kings, that is Bitcoin. It is well below the $30,000 mark. It is at $28,294. So when Jerome Powell announces the CPI numbers, it's going to be really interesting to see some drastic movement, particularly in the price of Bitcoin. Now, since the last 24 hours, it is down by 2.4%. Since the last 7 days, it is down by 0.65%. And look, guys, every Monday, Glassnodes, they do tend to provide a weekly insight on what has happened in the previous week. And if you're someone who reads through Glassnodes report, I would definitely recommend to read it with caution, because this week's report may not necessarily show the details of Bitcoin congestion. So what I'd recommend you to do is maybe look at the volume next week. It might just give you a thorough picture. And every Monday, guys, even CoinShares, they tend to provide a weekly insight. And I did ask James Butterfly via LinkedIn if they cover all the details from Monday to Sunday, and he did actually reply that they only look at details from Monday to Friday. And the congestion, guys, on Bitcoin did actually take place on Saturday and Sunday. So keep that in mind when you're reading through these reports. Now, so far as Ethereum is concerned, it is at $1,869, and later on in the episode we'll discuss the decision done by Ethereum Foundation to sell $30 million worth of Ethereum. Now, that has not had a massive impact on the price of Ethereum, but it still begs the question, is there a central entity making that decision? And these decisions, do they have an impact on the price of Ethereum, aka profitability? Now, since the last 24 hours, it is down by 1.72%, and since the last 7 days, though, it is up by 1.24%. And what would have happened? Let's say if they had decided not to sell the $30 million mark, could it be possible that the prices would have pumped up? So it's going to be really interesting things that the SEC or Gary Gensler will definitely be looking at. Now, so far as Binance BNB is concerned, it is at $318, and something which I just mentioned earlier. It is a bit ironic that the price of Binance BNB coin is relatively constant, considering the fact that the market cap of Binance BUSD has gone down by more than 50% in just a matter of few months. So listen, guys, I really wouldn't be surprised if we do hear some negative news regarding Binance. But once again, I really am hoping I'm 100% wrong on this. Now, since the last 24 hours, though, Binance BNB coin is down by 1.60%, and since the last 7 days, it is down by 4.40%. Now, look, guys, there's some massive drama going on in the Bitcoin world, and the news is that the Bitcoin network is completely congested, and Bitcoin network struggles with unprecedented traffic and soaring fees. On the 7th of May, over 390,000 transfers were stuck. Now imagine, guys, we talk about the banking industry, but what happens to the Bitcoin industry? 390,000 transfers were stuck and waiting for confirmation. So roughly around 179 blocks would still need to be mined to clear this block, and this accounts for roughly around over 2 days. And the reason for this, guys, is pretty simple. What has happened is in Bitcoin blockchain, they have introduced the BRC token. Now, BRC token is kind of similar to the ERC token, which works on Ethereum blockchain, but because of technical changes in Bitcoin where they added Taproot and Snort signature, you can now go ahead and implement different protocols, and one of them is the BRC token. And guys, listen, since 2023, there is massive news about Bitcoin NFTs on Bitcoin blockchain, hence, and we have seen an increase in ordinal inscriptions on the Bitcoin blockchain, and because of that, the Bitcoin network is 100% congested. Now, from a miner's point of view, it is absolutely brilliant, because what miners can do is, in order for transactions to get updated onto the block, they can charge a heavy fee. And I was reading through some articles earlier where they actually mentioned that an average fee for doing a transaction on Bitcoin blockchain is roughly around $7. This is absolutely ridiculous and extremely high. So from a miner's point of view, guys, it is absolutely brilliant, and they might be making millions, if not billions of dollars because of this news. But from a user experience point of view, let's say if you want to send funds to someone who is in absolute need, the transactions are getting delayed. Now, one thing you need to understand, guys, is BRC20 tokens and the increase in ordinal inscriptions is the reason why this has happened. Guys, let me try to give out some information on what BRC token is, because BRC token is an experimental token standard recently introduced, and what it does is, It allows users to create and transfer fungible tokens on the Bitcoin blockchain, and on-chain data shows that nearly 400,000 unconfirmed Bitcoin transactions, which is way higher than anything that was experienced, particularly during the bull run of 2018 and 2021. And Colin Harper, who's the head of content of Luxor Technologies, a full-stack blockchain mining pool, did actually state that the biggest difference now between this jump in transaction fees and the past ones with the inscriptions is the BRC20 standards is a new way to inscribe, and adoption of the standard is definitely driving up fees. Now guys, the high transaction fees and backlog on Bitcoin network are causing concerns for some users because it can make using Bitcoin extremely expensive, and apart from that it is becoming extremely slow as well, and transactions on Bitcoin are processed by miners who are incentivized to process transactions with the higher fees. So when there are many transactions waiting to be processed, fees can be increased, making it difficult for small players to use Bitcoin. And some users, guys, believe that this congestion is an intentional attack on Bitcoin, while others attribute it to growing popularity of NFT-like assets minted on Bitcoin using protocol called Ordinals. Now listen guys, if I was a Bitcoin miner, I would definitely support this move, and I'd like to have more people using Bitcoin Ordinals and more people using the RC20 token, and the answer is pretty simple. I could charge a high fees because the mempool is getting filled, and Ordinals, guys, as we know, is a protocol that allows users to create Bitcoin-based digital assets called inscriptions that resemble ERC20 tokens on Ethereum, and these inscriptions are growing in popularity, with the total number of inscription guys now passing 4 million. I very specifically remember the very first time I covered this news in my Crypto and Coffee Day podcast, the number of inscriptions was 10,000. The next week it was 100,000. Then I covered it when it was 2 million just few days ago, and now it has crossed the 4 million mark. And this popularity, guys, has led to more transactions on the network, contributing to the backlog and high fees. Now guys, the Bitcoin maximalist community is actually divided on this, and some are arguing that this is a positive development for the ecosystem, and it shows the versatility and innovation enabled by Bitcoin Taproot upgrade. Now what are your thoughts, guys? Do you agree to this or do you disagree to it? I know quite a lot of Bitcoin maximalists who are divided on this. Some of them 100% agree to this, while some of them definitely oppose this. And you need to understand, while the high fees and backlog may be frustrating for some users, it is extremely profitable for a situation for miners who earn more fees because of this. And this, guys, could lead to centralization of the network, as large mining operations have an advantage over smaller ones. Additionally, if fees remain high and the backlog persists, it can make using Bitcoin less accessible and attractive to users, potentially leading to a decline in adoption as well. Now what are your thoughts, guys? Mention them in the comments below. And guys, because of the Bitcoin congestion and because of this drama, it has negatively impacted Binance as well. And Binance has decided to temporarily close Bitcoin withdrawals, and they did that twice in just a matter of 8 hours, and the reason being the large volumes of pending transactions. But they have rest assured that the funds are 100% safe. Now if you're someone who is using Binance, what I'd really recommend you to do is read through the number of tweets that they have mentioned, absolutely crystal clear. And because Binance has paused Bitcoin withdrawals, unfortunately it has slid from the top 10 cryptocurrency exchanges so far as the trading price is concerned. Now in the tweet, what they have mentioned is that there is a large volume of withdrawal transactions from Binance still pending, as they set fees and did not anticipate the recent surge in Bitcoin network gas fees, and their team is currently working to accelerate the confirmation of all pending transactions, and they will be providing further updates. And if you go through the series of tweets, they did actually mention that they're replacing the pending Bitcoin withdrawal transactions with a higher fees so they get picked up by mining pools, and they plan to reopen Bitcoin withdrawals in the next few hours, and looks like Bitcoin withdrawals have definitely kicked in. Now one thing which I really liked about Binance is that in order to prevent a similar recurrence in the future, their fees have been adjusted, and they will continue to monitor on-chain activity and adjust accordingly if needed. And their team, guys, now is currently working on enabling Bitcoin Lightning Network withdrawals, which will help in such situation. And look, guys, one thing which I've mentioned several times in my past, Lightning Network, not blockchain, is a narrative which is definitely building up. And if you're someone who has recently gotten into the cryptocurrency, blockchain space, or even the Bitcoin space, what I'd really recommend you to do is have a look at Lightning Network, because Lightning Network solves all of these problems in an instance. Now, that's not to say that Lightning Network is perfect, because they do have some drawbacks as well. Essentially, you need to open a channel, you need to close a channel, and you just can't do that. You need to have X number of Bitcoins as a deposit as well. So from a user's point of view, it might have some drawbacks, but at the macro level, it does have some potential benefits as well. Now guys, let's discuss some news regarding Ethereum. And Cointelegraph actually reported that Ethereum Foundation transferred $30 million in Ethereum, which I believe is roughly around 1,877 Ethereum at the time of writing, to the oldest cryptocurrency exchange in the world, that is Kraken. And this actually caused jitters in the market about a potential sell-off of event, and Ethereum prices did actually fall down to 4.8% to roughly around $1,900 on that day. Now my big question is, guys, who goes ahead and makes this decision? Now you need to look at this question from an SEC point of view, and Gary Gensler was kind of divided between his thoughts so far as Ethereum is concerned, because historically in the past they did actually state that Ethereum is not a security, but after the staking withdrawals kicked in, it's kind of a mixture of reaction by him and also by the SEC. So my big question is, who makes the decision to dump these coins, and does that have an impact on the price of Ethereum, aka profitability? And these are the things, guys, the SEC is definitely looking at. At this point of time, I'm really not sure what the answer is, but if you do have any comments or feedback, mention them in the comments below. And sadly, guys, these are points that Bitcoin maximalists do actually pick upon, and they actually recommend SEC that Ethereum is a security. So there is a lot of chaos going on, not just between the cryptocurrency world and the SEC, but also between Bitcoin maximalists and Ethereum. And I very specifically know that Michael Saylor, who claims to be a Bitcoin maximalist, is aggressively against Ethereum. As a matter of fact, he's also indirectly recommended to SEC to call Ethereum as a security. Now guys, let's discuss some news regarding Deloitte, and they have integrated Kilt Identity blockchain, spelled as Kilt, which is K for kite, I for India, L for Larry, and T for technology. And Kilt, guys, will be creating new markets with reusable digital credentials, and the credentials will have multiple use cases, including regulatory compliance over banking and DeFi, age verification for e-commerce, private logins, and fundraising. So if you do want to read through the official blog, go to the Deloitte's website, and they did actually mention what this new project is all about. And Deloitte Consulting and Bot Labs, also called as BOT Labs, GmbH, have integrated Kilt blockchain technology to create reusable digital credentials that can be used for identity verification processes, also known as KYC, and KYB, also known as Know Your Business. Now these credential, guys, will be stored in the customer's own wallet on the device, giving them 100% control over the personal information and allowing them to choose with whom they share their credentials and which data points they share. And Deloitte is providing a credential wallet in the form of a browser extension to manage and share these credentials. Now the credentials are digitally signed by Deloitte and can be revoked using blockchain technology if needed, and this technology has the potential to create new digital marketplaces from e-commerce to decentralized finance by providing cost-effective, secure, and convenient verification processes. Now guys, if you're someone in UAE, I really am not sure if you've used UAE Pass. Now I personally like using UAE Pass, but the use case is limited. So let's say if you want to update your documentation for Do, which is a telecom service provider, rather than giving them all the details, what you can do is log into the UAE Pass, grant access to Do, and to be honest guys, the user experience is absolutely brilliant. I really am not sure if you do actually need blockchain technology for this. The job is done much better and faster using our software, and with UAE Pass, it can be used across different government services as well. So really I'm not sure that the use case for Deloitte will work absolutely brilliant, because the thing is, you need to get everyone in the pool as well. Now it might work probably in a decade's time or even longer, but still a positive news. Now guys, let's discuss two news from Dubai, UAE, and the Middle East. So the first news is that Buzz AR and Cypher Capital has teamed up for a metaverse project. So let me try to give out some bits and pieces of information. Now unfortunately guys, for Buzz AR, I could not find a website, and if you do go to Google and type in Buzz AR, it does give you a website which is buzzar.app, but looks like that is not this project. Now Buzz AR is a Singapore and Saudi Arabia based company, and Cypher Capital, guys, as we know, is based in Dubai, and they are investing in the future, and they are a leading early stage venture firm focused on investing in Web3 infrastructure and applications that will drive the new digital economy for years to come. and together they are building a legacy. And Cypher Capital, guys, has a partnership with Kevin O'Leary. Unfortunately, Kevin O'Leary is associated with FTX, but that is a completely different topic altogether. Now, so far as Cypher Capital is concerned, they're working alongside globally acclaimed Web3 founders and entrepreneurs, and Cypher Capital, guys, leverages their relationship and industry expertise to ensure long-term success. And if you're building a tech company that'll enhance the Web3 experience, you definitely need to submit your project to the team of investors and fiduciaries and join the broad spectrum of successful brands who have worked with Cypher Capital before. Now listen, guys, so far as the news is concerned, Buzz AR and Cypher Capital are teaming up for Metaverse project. So let me try to give out what this news will do, because this partnership will allow for companies to leverage proprietary generative AI technologies on its Metaport. And Buzz AR, which is a Singapore and a Saudi Arabia-based AI company, is partnering with Cypher Capital, which is a venture firm capital, to create artificial intelligence plus LBS Web3 location-based gaming projects. And the partnership has received $1 million seed investment, and the companies will use proprietary generative artificial intelligence technologies on Metaport, a portal that turns human faces to avatars in real time to create a decentralized social graph. And Buzz AR has leading retail holdings, hospitality partners, and tourism government collaborations in Singapore and Saudi Arabia. And guys, I've mentioned this several times in the past, Saudi Arabia is slowly turning out to be a leader, not just in the metaverse world, but also in the Web3 world. So if you're a business entity, you definitely need to check out news surrounding Saudi Arabia. Now this partnership aims to reshape the gaming industry, gaming landscape, and Bill Barr, the founder of Buzz AR, is delighted to partner with Cypher Capital and propel Buzz AR's LBS Metaverse project called as Project D Space. And Project D Space will provide an integrated metaverse solutions tailored to the unique needs and aspirations of Singapore and Saudi Arabia. And the project will support Saudi Arabia's national tourism strategy and other regional strategic plans. And Project D Space will provide an immersive and culturally diverse metaverse solution, and the project is expected to bring merchants and users together in a revolutionary new way. And Bill Keon, who's the chairman of Cypher Capital Group, is the lead investor of D-Space as well. And if you follow them on LinkedIn, guys, they often tend to provide updates. And Cypher Capital believes that D-Space has the potential to revolutionize the gaming industry and pave the way for new opportunities in the artificial intelligence plus LBS Web3 metaverse space. And the project aims to foster tourism and economic growth in the Middle East. And the project, guys, also aims to foster global connectivity and collaboration. And Cypher Capital is committed to creating an immersive and culturally diverse metaverse experience. And the partnership is at the forefront of an exciting new era. And the partners are confident in the transformative impact D-Space will have on the world. So it's going to be an absolutely massive impact. Now, guys, let's discuss the second news. And this is about Palazzo Versace Dubai. And they have launched the first artificial intelligence-based chatbot. And I'm pretty much sure, guys, somewhere in 2021 or 2022, I definitely covered news about Palazzo Versace. And that was regarding cryptocurrencies. And they did have some partnership with Binance. So let me try to give out some information on what this news is. Because Palazzo Versace Dubai has partnered with AskSuit to launch an artificial intelligence-powered chatbot named Aura, which is O for Orange, R for Robert, A for Alpha, to enhance guest experience. And the chatbot reduces response time and provides enhanced customer support for the hotel's guests based on their online behavior. And Aura, guys, can be accessed to various platforms such as hotel website, WhatsApp, Google Meta Messenger, Meta's Messenger, and rooms via QR codes. And the bot can help guests with room bookings, restaurant reservation, spa services, corporate meetings, social events, and weddings. Could this mean, guys, that we do not need human element? I definitely do think so. The guests can shop for gifts, cakes, boutiques, and e-gift vouchers on Palazzo Versace Dubai's e-commerce platforms using Aura. And the hotel is known for taking unprecedented steps in the hospitality industry. And guys, as I mentioned earlier, somewhere in 2021 or 2022, they were also involved in accepting cryptocurrency payments through a partnership with Binance. And Palazzo Versace is a pioneer in adopting new technologies and providing innovative hotel experiences for guests. And AskSuit's integration of ChatGPT functionality into the artificial intelligence chatbot raises the user experience and provides better support for luxury travelers. So I'm definitely going to check out AskSuit, because it looks like they're definitely an early adopter in the space, and the Middle East market is a priority for AskSuit due to the high demand of artificial intelligence in the service automation and the group of messaging channels like WhatsApp in the hotel industry. And blockchain technology, guys, as we know, can help artificial intelligence in the future by providing a secure and decentralized data storage and facilitating secure and transparent transactions. And Palazzo Versace's Dubai's adoption of artificial intelligence and chatbot technology is definitely a cutting-edge step towards future-proofing its business in an increasingly digital world, and the hotel industry is moving towards artificial intelligence conversational marketing as travelers increasingly prefer digital channels over traditional methods like international calls. And guys, Palazzo Versace Dubai is located quite near to my place actually, at Jeddah waterfront, and it is one of the top luxury hotel properties in the region. And the hotel's adoption of artificial intelligence-powered chatbots and crypto payments is a sign of its commitment to providing innovative and convenient services for its guests. And guys, as I mentioned earlier, blockchain technology can help in improving guest data management, allowing hotels to provide more personalized experiences and better target the marketing efforts. And Asksuit's customized omnichannel guest automation chatbot for Palazzo Dubai Versace shows actually how AI can be tailored to meet the unique needs and expectation of luxury travels. So look guys, this is just the beginning. I'm pretty much sure in the near future we might be having holograms which is connected to artificial intelligence, which is connected to, let's say, ChatGPT and AutoGPT. I really am not sure what the possibilities are. So those are the news guys from Crypto and Coffee at 8 from Blockchain DXB. In case you have any feedback or suggestions, do drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. Check out my website www.blockchaindxb.com, and guys, also check out my website area2071.com that talks everything about metaverse. And if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. Now for the next few minutes is going to be an Ask Me Anything series where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and metaverse. So let's kick start with the Ask Me Anything series. Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB. You're listening to the Ask Me Anything series where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and metaverse. I have a question by Ismail who asks, do you think building all these unnecessary things on Bitcoin will damage its security and will it have some major risks? Now to answer your question, Ismail, definitely not. Building all these things will not have absolutely any consequences on the underlying technology of Bitcoin blockchain, because what you need to understand is that Bitcoin is protected by, if not one of the strongest technologies ever. So far as answering your question is concerned, will it damage its security? The answer is no. It will not have absolutely any major risks as well. And this is getting a little bit technical. What you need to understand is that Bitcoin blockchain is protected by some really strong hashing algorithms. Even if we were to combine all the world's superpower computer, and then it'll still take millions if not billions of years to do any double spending. Now keeping that thing in mind, I definitely don't think so that building all these unnecessary things will be damaging the security of Bitcoin blockchain. But when you answer this question, is Bitcoin a sound money? I'm pretty much sure unnecessary things being built on Bitcoin blockchain will definitely have a massive question mark. And one thing which I did mention earlier as well as small is that even the Bitcoin maximalists are divided on this. Some Bitcoin maximalists do actually feel that it is absolutely okay to build things on Bitcoin, and rather than saying Bitcoin is a sound money, they're saying is that Bitcoin is a programmable money, which often Ethereum maximalists think Ethereum is. But at the same time, some Bitcoin maximalists don't like all these unnecessary things, and they want the world to focus only as Bitcoin as a medium of exchange, as a medium of payment. Now, to be honest, personally, I'm kind of divided for it, so really I'm not sure. But one thing which I do feel is, and this is more at the macro level, as and when Bitcoin is getting mainstream adoption, there are a lot of new engineers who recently got into the cryptocurrency and blockchain space are trying to build these things, and these new software engineers, I definitely do say, are definitely much better, let's say, to some of the existing software engineers, and they are trying to experiment it. Now, really, I'm not sure what the future is. I don't think so that this trend would continue, but it's small. But I do think as and when the Bitcoin halving gets closer, I'm pretty much sure we might see some positive news and some negative news regarding things being built on Bitcoin blockchain. But to answer your question, no, the underlying security of Bitcoin is absolutely strong. And even if you were to build such things or even 10 times such things, it'll absolutely have no impact on the underlying security of Bitcoin. So those were my thoughts, guys, from the Ask Me Anything series on blockchain DXB. And in case if you do have any feedback or suggestions, please drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. And guys, also check out my website www.blockchaindxb.com, and also check out my other website area2071.com that talks everything about metaverse. And if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. And remember, guys, Monday to Thursdays, 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. we have Crypto and Coffee at 8, where we cover top news and information pertaining to Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and metaverse. And how the series of episodes on the Crypto and Coffee at 8 works is, we usually cover some top news and information pertaining to the price of cryptocurrencies, some major breaking news, occasionally short and sweet news as well, news that has an impact in the cryptocurrency world. The other news and information is related to Dubai, UAE, and Middle East in the world of Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and metaverse. And what you're listening to right now is the Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and metaverse. Thanks so much for listening, guys, and have a nice one. Bye-bye.